Hello everyone, Jilles Groskamp here from Team Infinity, and today I want to talk about the all new black brake pad for the IF15 and for the IF18. And I want to a little bit tell you what is my experience when I tested this brake pad for both 1.8 and 1.10. I tested the first time in Singapore with the 1.8, and later on also at the ENS I drove it in the 1.10. And for my feeling, the black brake pad, the new one, is a little bit more harder brake, more progressive. So you really have to, you like it or not. Definitely in 110 you have more brakes, maybe a little bit more consistent as well. However, I sometimes also feel like you lock the wheel too quickly. So you can also adjust your brake, your range on the radio. So you actually have to turn back your brake a little bit on the radio, and then you have kind of a similar feeling, although I still feel it's a little bit more like an on-off brake. So at some tracks you will like it, some tracks you don't like it. When I talk with more members of the Infinity team, they also said you can kind of make a hybrid from it, so you can use the red and black in one time, so you have something in between. So that's also a good idea. A few more things. When I see the brake pad, the shape is very similar. However, it's a little bit more thin. It's like 0.1 more thin, and that also means that when you're gonna adjust the brake pad, you don't want to have too much play, and you can easily change that play a little bit by using the shims. So I recommend you, when you use the black brake pad, you also use a little bit more shims, 0.1 or 0.2 extra, to have as little play as possible here. Another thing I want to do one more time in this video, I want to show you how I glue the brake pad, because still some people are having trouble with it. I will show you which glue I use, just the procedure I do with the brake pad. So far I had zero problems with the brake pad this last year. I remember the first few times I went out, I used a different brand of glue, and when the fuel comes too much on the brake, sometimes the brake pad fall off. But with the JW weld, with the two components glue, it's like a cement, and it's very hard, and it's easy to apply to do. So now I'm gonna show you how I glue the brake pad. Okay, let's go. Well, these are all the stuff that you need. You need some sandpaper, some brake cleaner, some tissue, tie wrap, of course the glue. This is the JW weld. It's the hardener and the steel. They come in a pack together. This is by far the best one. Yeah, the brake pads, the red one and the new one, the black one. So first I start by a little bit using the sandpaper on the aluminium piece, just to yeah, have a little bit more grip for the glue. I don't have to do it long. This is 320, it's quite fine already. Just a little bit. So that's done. And now I take the brake pad, and the brake pad normally always have a little bit kind of round shape, so I also slightly put it over the sandpaper, so that means the outside edges are a little bit more flat, so it's easier to glue. Now that's done as well. I use a little bit of brake cleaner, and I clean the aluminium piece of the brake, and of course also the brake pad. I guess it's clear which side you have to glue. It's the light side. So yeah, that's also clean now. Now I'm gonna make the glue. Yeah, to make the glue, it's yeah, you don't need so much for one or two brake pads. You always glue it in a pair. It's just a drop, really. This is already enough. Of course, the hardener, you try to mix it like a 50-50, so it's the same amount again, a little bit more like this. And now I take the tie wrap, and I will start to mix it. And of course, when you mix black and white, you get a little bit gray color. And you mix it like about 10 seconds. You get a nice gray color, like it looks like a little bit like a cement. It's also called a cement kind of glue. So now you have some time, and the next thing I do is I'm gonna apply the glue on the brake pad, and you don't have to do it very thick, but just make sure that you apply just everywhere on the aluminium, also in the corner. Again, not too thick, because after you put on the brake pad, it kind of wanna go away, so it's getting more messy. So try to apply as thin as possible, but of course everywhere around. So now it looks like this. It's again, it's not too much. You can easily put on the brake pad now, and of course there's a small like a slot, so it falls in, and just make sure that both sides, this side, they stick out at the same amount. And yeah, this is one side. I will do the red one now. Now I apply the glue on the other one, and put on the red brake pad. So all looks good, and now I will put them together. Now the tricky parts come. I found this way is the most easy. This is a 15mm motor screw, and this is a ball from a shock, and I will show you now what I do, because you of course have to wait for around 24 hours, and it has to be tied together. So when you take them, be careful the brake pad not move too much. I take the screw, and I take the ball. They're both 2.5 from the outside, so it's easy to well, first by hand, also the other one can also do it by screwdriver. So now you can still move the brake pad a little bit in its place, and because of course it's still soft, and you check once more if it's really on its place by pushing in the middle as well. Then you can also, and now I slowly put them together, and again you can still move around the brake pad a bit. It's getting a little bit dirty hands but you can always clean it later. So now you don't have to tight it too much, but just enough that it's yeah, the two brake pads are really close together. Now they are in place, all close together, and now I'm gonna clean it a little bit. So tomorrow when you take off the screw, it's immediately ready to go. I take some brake cleaner and I take away the excess glue already. Also on the side, don't use too much brake cleaner, otherwise the whole glue gonna go away. But this is most of the glue is away and clean now, and now we have to wait for about 24 hours. So good morning everybody, 24 hours later, and I will take off the two brake pads now, and let's see how they are. Well, You can see that there's a little bit of the glue on the outside, but it's not a big problem. Also, everything is already quite clean. I usually just take a knife and make sure this is a little bit more a nice round, and take off the edges if there are any, like this. And also the other side. It's quite yeah, I just check it, but it's not a big problem if there's a little bit of cement there left. Of course not on the brake pad itself. You can also slightly take the edge off on the side. But yeah, this is it's quite nice. And also make sure there can be some glue coming out of this hole. Make sure this is also flat, but in this case there's no glue, but sometimes the glue come all the way out. Make this as flat as possible. Let's see the other one, the black one. Also looks nice. Again, a little bit in the middle. But yeah, it was centered quite good. There's a little bit of cement here. Again, make sure it is just flat. That's it. Ready to go. So that was my video about the brake pads, the red versus the black brake pads. Yeah, I hope this was helpful for you, and see you next time.